Wow. Party. Wow. Cubs and Expos, and I can say is wow, because Andy Chavez with a great play there. Check out Chavez. And once again, everybody going through extension because they want to make top plays for Wednesday.
Get a T-bar.
Kerry Wood pitching a shutout through 7 innings in a jam in the 8th, but then he handles his business. Wood, the strikeout, then the ground out, and for the 41st time, he posted double-digit strikeouts. No score in this game. He had 11 strikeouts through 8. Expos, though, implode in extra fun. Top of the 11th, bases loaded. Claudio Vargas can't handle his business. Ramon in reverse comes down to score. Cubs take a 1-0 lead. Same at bat for Mark Grudzielanek, and he delivers. Dominican Daddy scores, but Ramon Martinez, greedy, he's thrown out the plate. Doesn't matter. Cubs post the deuce there. They go on to win 2-1, your final score.
As far as you know. Andy Chavez to second. Marcus Giles full extension, and he makes the play, gets Chavez at first. Top 4, nobody on. Eli Morero facing Scott Downs. Solo shot is 9th. Braves easy 7-1 behind Bird, who allowed only 1 run on 4 hits in 8. Atlanta has won 4 in a row.
The hill, bottom 1. Brad Wilkerson swing and a drive to center field. The 8th leadoff home run of the year for him. 27th of the year, and the Expos are up by a score of 1-0.
He'd have been a nice pickup.
Bases loaded. Luis Ayala pitching, tied at 2. Uh-oh, he hit Julio Franco. You can do that?
They beat up Reggie Sanders. Now they're hitting the old man, Julio.
That's a 46-year-old man just took one in the back. That ain't good.
Andrew Jones scored. Schneider an infield single as that thing spins all over the place.
Yeah, that's got to be interference. You got to allow Chipper Jones to go get that ball.
Yeah, I think all Chipper had to do was stop and let the guy run into it, and they might have called it.
No call, though. Batista going to the wall. Andy Chavez is going to come in and score. A rare setback for the Atlanta Braves. And particularly rare, there are actually people in Montreal cheering.
Wow.
A couple of things you don't see very often. 4-3 is your final score. Good job by the Expos pitchers, all of them, as they hold Atlanta to only 6 hits. J.D. Drew has got 30.
Cubs Expos, Chicago playing for the first time since Wednesday. Sammy Sosa was not in the lineup. He's got a hip injury. Of course, they missed their weekend series in Miami. That got washed away. Derek Lee, bottom first, no score, is 29th of the year because it was his 29th birthday. A lot of symmetry there. Same inning, same score. Aramis Ramirez, his birthday's June 25th, so I don't know if he was celebrating there anything or not. He's 26. That's his 28th homer. Bottom second, 3-0. Tony Armas Jr. getting lit up again. Mark Grudzielanek solo home run, just his 5th. Chicago is up 4-0. Let's see, Armas, he's like, man, I'm just serving it up. Bummer for me. Bottom third, Cubs, 5-0 now. Ramirez playing whack-a-mole again, his 29th now. Armas gave up all 7 runs in 3 innings, fighting a shoulder strain. Not sure he'll make his next start. Carlos Zambrano pitching. Great game. Of course, when you're up 7-1, that helps. Little mistake here. Brad Wilkerson drives it deep, but there is Ben Grieve showing he still has Brewer pride. Got him cut up there on the eye. They took him for x-rays on his left shoulder. He's listed as day-to-day. Cubs win this thing.
Cubs leading this whole wild card thing, trying to stay there against the Expos. Matt Clement just 1 win in his last 6 starts. Top 3 facing Termel Sledge. And we'll go ahead and call that a sledgehammer.
Thank you.
11th home run of the season makes it 2-0 Expos, but something's not right. And it's not just the baseball flying out of Wrigley. Trainer comes out to see if Clement is okay. He is not, complaining of neck pain, and leaves prematurely for the 2nd straight start. Bottom 7, it's 5-4 Expos. Moises Alou, the former Expo, with a double. Noma into 3rd. Garcia Parra would score on a ground out to tie it at 5. In the 12th, Brian Schneider right back up the box. Here comes Juan Rivera with a go-ahead run, and it's 6-5 Expos. Bottom 12 we go at 7-5. Joe Horgan trying to close it out. Corey Patterson looking to keep it open. 2nd solo home run of the night. 21st of the year. It's a 7-6 ball game. Now the potential winning run, Ramon Martinez, not gonna happen. Fielder's choice, game over. Expos take it 7-6. Patterson 4 for 6 on the night. So with Houston and San Francisco winning, Cubs needed to beat Montreal or lose hold of the wild card lead. Greg Maddox on the mound, but 1 through 4 in the Cubs rotation, just 11 and 13 since the All-Star break. Maddox 6-1 since the break. In the 4th, Juan Rivera at bat against Maddox, goes down swinging. Maddox finished with 7 strikeouts. In the 6th, Paul Bacco at bat, flies to left center field. Look at Andy Chavez.
Wow.
Let's watch that again. It's just a little Endy film, you might say. Great diving catch and a top play nominee. Top eighth, Chavez with the bat in his hand this time. Ground ball to first, Derek Lee. Not Chavez-like, can't squeeze it. 2 runs going to score on the air, 3-0 Expos. Next batter, Juan Rivera. On the pitch out, Paul Bacco, and just wing that right into center field. Brad Wilkerson's going to score there. Oh, boy. September, bad things happening to the Cubs. Even the camera guy had trouble with this one.
Whoops!
Oh.
In the noggin.
Oh, well, you hate when that happens. It's just a bad night all around there at Wrigley if you had a glove or even if you didn't.
For quite some time.
High fly ball by Sledgehammer, deep right field. That ball is going to go a mile. Mike Remlinger has had 2 rough appearances in a row.
Well, Mike Remlinger has trouble getting left-handers out because he throws over the top.
Popped up center field. Endy Chavez is coming on. Rivera is there as well. It's Chavez. And a milestone for Scott Downs. His first major league complete game and shutout. He beats his former mates 6-0 tonight.
Ball not playing against Montreal Friday. Didn't even arrive at the ballpark until about 90 minutes before game time. Bottom one, John Patterson walks Chipper Jones, and he's not happy about it. Next up, it's Johnny Estrada, and now he's really not happy. 3-run shot off the foul pole. Number 9 for Estrada. Braves lead 3-1. Patterson gave up 4 runs on 6 hits and 6. Here's Marcus Giles. Hasn't homered in 164 at-bats. That's the longest drought of his career. Bottom 5, solo shot at 6th. Atlanta wins 4-3. They snap a 3-game losing streak. Now a comfy 7.5 up on Florida atop the National League East. That's a done deal.
First start since being charged with DUI. Bottom 3rd. Guess what?
His court date is in October, which is going to be right around the playoff time. That's going to be a little bit tricky, but it's amazing this kid came in and got a couple of knocks first game back.
Maybe you can sign a ball for the judge.
This is disconcerting here. Mike Hampton bunts. That's not the part. And then as you see, as he runs down, something happens.
And as we know, he's very athletic. He should not get hurt running to first base, but that's clearly what happened. It looks like a strained knee, and he's not going to take the trip, I believe, the flight, and they'll examine him this weekend.
Yeah, MRI on Monday, a little strained left knee. Meanwhile, Adam LaRoche doubles off Hernandez. Levon drives in 2. And the Braves are winners, 8-1.
You know, we've seen this with Hampton in the past where he's had some groin problems on that same side, so that may be the same knee.
Last 71 games for the Braves, they're 51-20. All right.
Then people will show up.
They will show up. You could actually check the game out there, then go to a Cub game at night. Braves in the Expos. Bobby Cox watches Rafael Furcal leave.
They play a doubleheader at Wrigley there.
Number 14 to right, tied a game up at 1. Andrew Jones, 27th ding-dong of the year to center field. Braves got a 2-1 lead. Jones doing it at the plate. Now we'll check out that arm. And I'm not sure I understand how he's safe at the plate since we
Watch
saw
how he sets up on this ball. He gets back, he gets himself set, and he comes through with a throw that is right on the money. The catcher does his job. He blocks him and knocks him off the plate with his left foot.
Ow.
That's why he's out at home.
He's safe.
He's out. See, he doesn't touch the plate. He slides
over the plate.
He slides over it.
lower leg, his lower leg scrapes right over the plate. No, the lower leg.
He's got burns he slid over the
plate. Hang with him.
Hang with him. When in doubt, yell hang with him. That's what they're encouraging each other to do on the bench. And John Smoltz can't hang with him here. Turmel Sledge singles to right. Brad Wilkerson scores. It's now 8-7. Leo Mazzoni. Hang with him, John. Juan Rivera. Oh, goodness. A walk. Or at least a ball. Now there's the Sledge single. Expos within a run. What happened? Leo Mazzoni says he's never had to come out and talk to John. Now Juan Rivera goes to right center, and oh goodness, a 3-run cushion blown by Smoltz. Rance.
He maybe needs to make the
See, he's looking at him. Did I make a save that time?
It's tied at 8.
It was safe then.
Here's Andrew Jones, first at bat for the runner on. Delivers.
Gapper.
Exactly.
No doubles, too. See how deep the outfielders are?
And here comes Charles Thomas. We will hear that name during the playoffs, gentlemen. I guarantee you.
Braves go on and win it in a game that Smoltz blows a 3-run lead in the ninth.
They're walking in with their heads down while the ball's in the air going to the plate. That was
right.
beautiful.
They know Charles is a low fly.
9-8 your final score. Batista and Sledge each with 3 hits in this one. Good game for Eddie Perez. Eduardo has 4 for 4. He hit his 3rd home run, had a couple of RBIs, and again, multiple hits as there are 29 hits in this game.
First NL game in an AL ballpark since 1946. Looks like a Montreal home game. 4,000 fans in attendance. The Marlins, the first defending World Series champs, play a home game in Chicago since 1918. They brought Billy the Marlin. Let's see if it worked out. Bottom of the 7th, bat flies out of Alex Gonzalez's hand in the Marlins dugout. Lenny Harris was actually hit by it. Harris would go to the clubhouse for some treatment. $15 a ticket, the game today. $5 of it going to hurricane relief. Bottom of the 8th, Marlins, the base loaded and 2 out. Gonzalez, the pop fly. Juan Rivera can't get any relief. 2-run score. Marlins lead 4-2. Lenny Harris, he's back from the clubhouse. He's still pinch hitting. He's 105. 2 more runs score. The Expos make 4 errors in the inning, and the Marlins win.
We got Expos, Marlins. Marlins play the second so-called home game at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago due to Ivan. Top of 6, Expos down 6-2. Brian Schneider doubles down the line. Fan reaches out and touches the ball. Cousin of Steve Bartman. Ryan Church allowed to score from first. Judgment call by the ump, who thought he would have scored. So like an inquiry in horse racing. Jack McKeon doesn't agree with any of it. Comes in. It's an homonym, not a homonym. Expos cut it to 6-3. Top of 7. Tony Batista. Home run. Batista's 26th home run. Game tied at 6. Top 8. Expos down 8-6. None on for Juan Rivera. It's a top 10 nominee. Alex Gonzalez. Deep in the hole. The jump throw. Jeff Conine. Full extension for the out. Another look to see how women 18 to 26 feel about the play. Gonzalez likes the effort. Top of 9. Expos down 8-6. Bases loaded. 2 out for Ryan Church. Liner to right. Juan Encarnacion turns to make the catch. Expos, or rather the Marlins, escape 8-6 and head home to play the rest of this series.
Game 2 of a doubleheader. The Expos won game 1. Bottom 3, Expos up 4-1. Damian Easley getting all swole up. Double scores Mike Lowell and Jeff Conine. Marlins left 11 men on base. Top 4, Tony Batista up with 2 on. With a bat in the hands and you pull up your pants and do the rock away. Home run, 27th of the year. First time ever the Marlins drop a doubleheader at home. Expos win game 2, 10-4. Y'all want to take a look at the wild card?
Hey, a lot of Expo fans here. No. Probably no Canadians in the U.S. military.
Right.
Finale of the 5-game series, Expos and Marlins. Juan Encarnacion was on 3rd. Alex Gonzalez sacrifice fly. Juan Rivera the throw home. Close play. Watch Encarnacion. That's what we call a slide. Brian Schneider nearly got the tag on him. Great slide by Encarnacion. Runner on second with Jeff Conine in the bottom of the 6th. Base hit right center. Paul LaDuca stumbles. Going to be a close play, but another great slide by a Marlin. Florida, well known as the best sliding team in the majors.
They're slippery.
Armando Benitez going to close it out. 42nd save and 45 10.
Finished last in the NL. Fewer than 4,000 folks took this one in. Mike Piazza went 1 for 4. The one was a home run. That wasn't it. Livan Hernandez gets him. Hernandez complete game, 9th of the season. Bottom 6, Tony Batista off Heath Bell. Heath, great name. Remember Heath Barkley, Big Valley? Lee Majors role. You might
remember Heath Barr.
Oh, there it is. Expos win it. 6-1, the Mets. Richard Hidalgo catching it on the fly and then going Chuck Connors on Termel Sledge. Out at the plate. Worth another look. Mets haven't had that many highlights. They didn't have one on the scoreboard. 6-1 Expos, but
1 ball, 1 strike on Bobby. And he rips this one to right. It's a fair ball. They'll take a 2-run lead. This one goes to the corner, and Bobby Abreu with a stand-up double. 103 runs batted in on the year, and double number 42. Schneider to left center field, and it drops in for a hit. Scoring easily is Sledge. Brian Schneider with an RBI single, and it's a 2-1 game. The Phillies lead it.
Okay, D.C., here come the Expos. The Associated Press reports Wednesday, Washington officials will announce the return of Major League Baseball next season after 33 years away. It's the culmination of 3 years of bidding and the bureaucracy required to move a franchise owned by baseball's 29 other teams. Plans for the D.C. Expos, or whatever they'll be called, call for a $13 million renovation to spruce up RFK Stadium for the short term, with a $400 million park to come. The move was also contingent on a minimum annual revenue guarantee for the nearby Baltimore Orioles. Not yet ex-Montrealers, the Expos playing their penultimate Olympic Stadium game Tuesday night with the Marlins. And for the sports scene in Montreal, it's not so good. Expos 27 games back in the East. They're not only lame, they're lame ducks. The Montreal Canadiens locked out by the NHL. But there's this good news. The Montreal Alouettes are 12-1 in the CFL, and they're going to the playoffs. Way to go, Alouettes. Meanwhile, Expos souvenirs are going fast. Some faster than others, like this Jeff Conine solo shot, his 14th. Marlins up 4-0. They win 5-2. The Expos, with one cleat out of town already, managed just 3 hits on the entire night. Well, we make fun. Montreal is the Siberia of Major League Baseball, but it hasn't been all bad. May 10th, 1981, Charlie Lee tosses a no-hitter against the Giants. The 4-0 Spos win. Remains the only no-hitter for the home team in Olympic Stadium history. October 1981. Game 5 of the NLCS comes to be known as Blue Monday, when the Dodgers' Rick Monday hits a 9th-inning homer to send the Dodgers to the World Series. July 13th of 82, the All-Star Game is played at Olympic Stadium. Steve Rogers, Gary Carter, Andre Dawson, Tim Raines, all in the starting lineup. Dave Concepcion hits a home run, and the National League wins at 4-1. April 13th of 84, Pete Rose, in his only season with the Expos, collects career hit number 4,000 in his team's home opener against his former team, the Phils. And September 25, 97, against the Marlins, Pedro Martinez strikes out his 300th batter of the year en route to capping off his first Cy Young win.
Underneath the Teflon sky in Montreal's Olympic Stadium, an outpouring of emotion from fans who have entered this building since 1977 to watch National League Baseball, and before that inside of Jerry Park, where the Expos got their start in 1969. Fans have come in droves here tonight to give their team a send-off. One final send-off from Montreal 4 Expos team that features the likes of Larry Walker, Moises Alou, Felipe Alou as the manager, Gil Heredia, Ken Hill, Tim Scott on hand as they unveil the banner in left center field here at Olympic Stadium to honor that team.
The big inning.
The 0-1 hit on the ground to short. Asteris backhand, and he can't come up with the throw over to second base. So Asteris thinking double play before he actually had control of the ball. The run will score on the play. Pitch swung on, hit to right center field. Ryan Church giving chase. He won't be able to get there. It will drop. Church picks it up on one hop. Both runs will score easily, and Juan Pierre has himself a 2-out, 2-run scoring double to give the Marlins a 4-0 lead. Always something the manager and the pitching coach are watching for. This ball hammered left center field. It has lift, it has length, and it has left the field of play. Home run, Miguel Cabrera, and some kind of power put on display by this young Marlins left fielder. Oh man!
Been solid and filled the needs.
Time called on the field before the pitch was delivered. And another golf ball has come on to the field of play, and obviously a very dangerous situation, something you don't want to have to see happen. The second base umpire is Ted Barrett. They have called the players off the field of play. It has become such a dangerous situation. The extra security staff that was hired on here has now taken their posts in the appropriate position, and the PA announcer is announcing to the crowd that we cannot continue to play this game should these events continue to happen, like the golf balls we have seen come onto the field so far here tonight. Center field most recently, and this ball is sauteed into the left field corner, high off the wall. Tony Batista scores easily. Rivera trying to make it a double. The slide, the tag, he's off the bag, and now tagged out by Castillo. So Rivera, who was actually in there safe with the RBI double, slides a little too far off the bag. Pitch hammered by Conine into left field. Sledge running towards the line, scoring easily as Cabrera, And holding up at second base is Lowell. So the Marlins extend their lead to 6-1. This ball hit over the head of Brad Wilkerson into right field. Picked up there by Ryan Church. 1 run will score on the play. That's Lowell. Throw down to second. Hits Castillo in the butt. And now trying to score is Conine. Rivera a little late getting over there. Pitch to Gonzalez. Looped. Brendan Harris over. Diving catch. That ball hits the ground. It drops in. Castillo will now score on the play. And it's a 4-run inning once again for the Florida Marlins, who now lead it 9-1.
According to memories, Jamel Sledge at the plate, flashbulbs popping for perhaps the final pitch, the final out, the final swing. Sledge pops out. Mike Mordecai at third. He's got it. Now give the ball to the people, huh? Infield coach Perry Hill over to Robinson. Put that baby in the Hall of Fame. Expos roving coach Claude Raymond. Well, it's not easy saying goodbye.
I know we have fans here. It's a great baseball town. But this is it. I'm broken.
You see Brad Wilkerson? Feels the same way. He's emotional. The fans, a lot of memories in Montreal, 36 years of baseball. Fans saying goodbye already. By the way, the Marlins actually won this game 9-1. Carl Pavano, a club record 18 wins.
Already have a look at what happened. Yes, there it is. Shea. It ends where it began back in '69. Some of the fans paying tribute to the end of an era in Canadian baseball, and amazingly, the Expos and Mets all-time record against one another after all these years was dead even. 298. Tom Glavine throwing for the Mets. Termel Sledge singles off him in the first, and that would prove to be the Expos' last ever run batted in. Many tributes from the crowd, including one for a very sad Yuppie. John Patterson getting the final start for the Montreal Expos. Tied at 1 in the third. David Wright takes Patterson deep right and gone. A 2-run shot, so it's 3-1 for the Mets. Maybe a lack of concentration in the season's last day. Jose Reyes catching everybody napping. He steals third, and he would score in a single to make it 4-1. Meanwhile, great story here. Catcher Todd Zeile planning to retire, batting in the 6th, and look what he does, going out in style, a home run in his final at-bat. A 3-run shot, no less, to blow it open 7-1 New York. The score doesn't matter, though, to the faithful Expo crowd in attendance. On to the 9th inning, and this from the Montreal contingent. Cheering to the last. 2 outs from the 9th, pinch hitter Endy Chavez at the plate.
3-2 pitch, a ground ball towards the second baseman to throw to first, and the Expos are history. 1969-2004.
Yeah, Frank Robinson saying thanks, getting the game ball, and Expos coach Tim Raines, one of the legends of Montreal baseball, feeling the moment as they go down at Shea, 8-1 the final, off to Washington. And look at the final numbers, the final tally for the Montreal Expo franchise, a losing record overall at .484 baseball. 14 winning seasons, 20 losing seasons, 2 at .500 even. Who could forget 94, what might have been? It ended in August at 74-40, and the worst was the first, appropriately at 52 and 110, and the Mets on the final day win the overall series and the season series 10-9, by the way. Major League Baseball came to Canada for the first time in 1969 when the National League expanded by 2 to Montreal and San Diego. The Expos, named after Expo 67, won their first game 11-10 at Shea Stadium against the New York Mets. 6 days later, the Expos won their first home game, 8-7 over the St. Louis Cardinals. 29,000 fans were at Jerry Park as Mac Jones led the Montreal attack with a 3-run homer. 3 days later, more history.
Throw to first, in time, he did it! A no-hitter for Bill Stoneman.
Bill Stoneman threw the first of his 2 career no-hitters in Philadelphia. The second one came 3 years later at Jerry Park against the Mets. Montreal's first manager, Gene Mauch, had his team in pennant contention for the first time in 1973. But the Expos would finish 3.5 games back of the division-winning Mets. In 1977, the Expos moved to the spacious Olympic Stadium and played before a record crowd of 57,000 in their first game against the Phillies. the Expos built a true World Series contender around outfielders Andre Dawson, Warren Cromartie, and catcher Gary Carter. Montreal finished a heartbreaking second in both 1979 and 80, losing out in the final weekend in both years. In 1981, the Expos won the second half of the strike-divided season, making the playoffs for the first time.
The pitch. There's a fly ball to left field. Terry Francona's under it. He's got it. And the Expos have finally done it. Look out, Philadelphia. The Expos are coming.
After beating the Phillies in a best-of-5, the Expos then faced the LA Dodgers. The series finale was tied at 2 in the 9th when disaster struck.
A fly ball to Andre Dawson, and deep. Dawson to the track. Dawson to the wall. It's gone. Home run by Rick Monday, and the Dodgers go wild.
Rick Monday's series-winning home run marked the 3rd straight season that the Expos were eliminated by the eventual World Series champion, and it was the franchise's first and last glimpse of the postseason. In 1982, Montreal played host to the first All-Star game located outside of the United States. 5 Expos are included as the National League wins its 11th straight All-Star Classic. In 1991, Dennis Martinez made history, pitching the 13th perfect game in the Bigs.
In the air, center field, Grissom, El Presidente, El Perfecto.
The 1994 season would prove to be the best of times and the worst of times. Montreal held the best record in baseball at 74-40 when a players' strike abruptly ended the season. The effect of the strike was severe on the Expos, as financial problems forced them to deal players like Marquise Grissom, John Wetland, and Kenny Hill. Larry Walker also left as a free agent to Colorado. That signaled the beginning of the end for the Expo franchise. Dwindling attendance and dwindling funds forced Major League Baseball to purchase the team from Jeffrey Loria in 2002. Then, just last week, it was announced that the franchise would relocate to Washington, D.C. for the 2005 season. Montreal's final home game was played on Wednesday in front of 31,000 at the Big O.
And that's the ball game. And 36 years of Major League Baseball history in the city of Montreal comes to an end